How's it going, guys? Mask here. Now, in huge preparation for all the new content that's come out, the Christian Advent Dungeon, I gotta take a look at Taiyo. Now, I hope I'm saying that right. Taiyo, I've asked you guys a bunch of times, and I think that's what I've gathered from the comments. I appreciate your help in fixing my pronunciation. But we're taking a look at an absolute beast of a hero, Taiyo, today. I'm just gonna jump right into his skills, but I am super pumped to start getting this guy in action and get him more purple stars. I only got him 2. He increases counterattack with his leader skill, so not your best leader skill, but his his talents are so good. Obtains 1 hot-blooded instinct when attacking or attacked. Each hot-blooded instinct increases critical strike chance by 25%. Landing a crit strike consumes all hot-blooded instincts. Inflict 50% additional damage upon counterattack or multi-strike. All of that is just insane. It also makes him investing into counter-strike and multi-strike is huge on him, as well as investing into crit damage because crit strike chance comes so naturally to him. We have Fighting Spirit Blast. Increase critical strike damage by 20% for 2 turns upon landing a critical strike, and this stacks up to 3 times. He can get another bonus 60% crit damage just from this passive. He decreases damage taken by 70% by 2 turns and guarantees counterattack when the caster's HP is 50% or below, once per battle. For 2 turns. So for 2 turns, he has guaranteed counterattacks when he drops under 50%. That's fine. That could be better, but the crit damage bonus he's getting from this and the crit strike bonus he's getting from Hot-Blooded Instinct, Fighting Spirit Blast, are insane. Now, his skill 1 inflicts damage equal to 100% of attack to 1 enemy, inflicts additional damage equal to 25% of attack for each Hot-Blooded Instinct stack, which is crazy. So this can get up to 175% of his attack as a base first skill. Max it out, you're looking at 160% and 40% for each Hot-Blooded Instinct, with a potential of 280% of your attack. On a skill 1, that's almost a skill 3 nuke at its base level. We have Sunshine Attack. Inflict damage equal to 120% of attack that ignores defense to a target and 2 adjacent enemies. So it's a cleave, a defense ignoring cleave. Increases all allies, excluding the caster's attack, by 30% for 1 turn, and decreases the caster's counterattack chance by 50% and multi-strike chance by 50% for 1 turn. So it's sad that it decreases your counterattack and multi-strike chance because he takes advantage of those so incredibly. And as you level this up, the damage only increases and the attack percent. Duration increases, not the actual percent itself. So putting points into this skill is definitely the worst investment as far as skill points go on Taiyo. Let's take a look at his skill 3. We have Dynamite Punch. Inflicts damage equal to 330% of attack to 1 enemy, with a 63% chance to a 60% chance to stun them for 2 turns, and a 100% chance to decrease damage taken by 70% for 1 turn. And as we rank this up, the damage is going to increase, obviously. Once you get to max, the damage decrease taken on yourself is increased to 2 turns, which is crazy because this only has a 5 turn cooldown. You get a little bit of cooldown reduction happening here, where you're in an advent where it automatically drops it to 4 because of a bonus hero you have. Throw in like someone else like Sid who can drop it down to 3. This guy's 70% damage taking 70% damage 2 out of every 3 turns, which is crazy. Not to mention, we all had access to farming him, and he's fairly easy, so most of us, this should be our first opportunity to get a single target nuker up to 480% of attack. And then let's throw in a 2-turn stun on that. This guy is a monster. Now, because of the crit damage increase, with near guaranteed crit strike chance, once you get enough Hot-Blooded Instincts, this guy turns into an absolute monster damaging character. And tanky, just because of his skill 3. 70% damage decrease taken for 1 turn. Max it out, 2 turns. I'm gonna have it max. I just need to skill up his I have 5 skill ups. 5 other ones of him waiting. They're just all they're all 4 stars. Probably gonna focus on his purple stars first. Now, In the rune category, there are some, well, the most popular rune set on this guy is crit damage and counterattack. So we have the Rune of Destruction and the Rune of Revenge. And obviously crit damage, because he already has near guaranteed crit strike. He has a natural 75% crit strike chance boost, which is absolutely enough crit strike chance. That means that we don't really have to invest heavily into crit strike chance, and we can focus totally on crit damage. And that is exactly what I've done with this rune set. I have triple crit damage on this perfect first slot rune, which is I was so excited about it, I had to max it out. I brought it to plus 15. I got crit damage. I would have liked more crit damage here. What can you do? You have to take what you get. Now in slot 3, I went with counterattack and multi-strike just because he benefits so much from counterattacking and multi-striking. He gets that 50% bonus damage during every counterattack and multi-strike. This could have been HP. It's not going to be the worst thing here, but if you don't have counterattack and multi-strike, definitely want HP in slot 3. In slot 4, you have the option of multi-strike, counterattack, or attack, but as a damaging character that we're trying to extract tons of damage from with crits into crit damage, having a ton of attack is really important on the bottom as well. I focus this in importance order, starting with attack, then multi-strike and counterattack. In slot 5, we have attack and counterattack that are useful on him, and I would focus on them in that direction as well. First comes a first priority attack, second priority counterattack. This was simply the best rune that I had available for him. And in slot 6, we have attack, crit damage, and multi-strike, which are all fantastic on them. I would focus on them. Attack and crit damage, I kind of go hand in hand here, and then I would focus on multi-strike, and after that, crit strike chance, and leaving attack speed as the least focused option here. Now, before I continue, let me tell you that this is a PvE rune set that I have on this guy right now. Taiyo, I have him set up for PvE. I'm focusing entirely on being able to clear the Christian Advent dungeon, which I'm going to be doing later tonight. Stay tuned for the video on him tomorrow. But yes, the Christian Advent, so I'm not focusing on attack speed. You're gonna at any time, attack speed practically jumps to the #1 priority as long as you're planning on putting this guy into PvP in the arena. I'm still focusing largely on PvE content. I haven't really dialed in on that arena scene yet. That's gonna probably come in the next week or two. But let's take a look at this guy's talents. And I'm gonna have to say I broke open the bank and splurged on this man's talents. I'm pretty pumped. So in slot 50, we have Battlefield. We have basically a 50% chance to recover HP. We got healers for that. Elemental damage increase. A little more of a versatile unit here. I'm not going to be using him only in wind or only in fire dungeons, so I didn't opt to take this talent, which it still would have been more damage specifically versus Christians. So if you're super struggling right now to clear that Christian Advent and you want to be able to farm those SSR units, which are very important to do in this SSR Advents, then you may consider throwing elemental damage on them just for now. Give yourself that extra edge. But I chose the 20% attack increase. That's gonna put in a lot of work. Actually, I wouldn't even say the elemental damage increase. Actually, yeah, no matter what, it's still gonna be more damage. It is. But this 20% attack is going to be multiplied through a ton of other stuff. This is pre-multipliers on your crit damage, on all of your damage increases to bosses. One of the problems with truly finding out the exact optimal talents to use is we don't know yet. We haven't had the proper information testing, in-depth testing to figure out what order the attack stat is manipulated in order to get to your final damage, and which ones of these percentages stack in which way they stack. Like does the 20% bonus boss damage stack on top of your final damage before things like increased elemental damage come in? Like when and where all of these things apply would affect which ones we take. And I haven't quite figured all that out yet. Now, in their 52 talent, we have damage in the arena, damage to bosses, and a chance to bleed. This one's a no-brainer for me. I'm focusing on PvE content right now. Subjugation, increased damage to bosses. Obviously, if he's a huge arena contender of yours, you're going to want him spec'd with arena talents. We have in the 54 talent slot, 50% chance to burn, decreased elemental damage taken. I pretty well never suggest taking this. It's only useful on a light or a dark unit because they're also, when fighting, they're fighting at an advantage. They're also at a disadvantage, but definitely not on Taiyo. This was 10% bonus defense, no brainer. Coming into this slot here, I had a choice to decrease damage taken in arena, decrease damage taken from bosses, or go for the all-out, full, most damage I could pump out on this guy, and that is my goal with him, so I definitely went with Grudge, hoping to get that 30% attack boost from Grudge to come in and see some insane crits. That's what I want to see on this guy. Some of the craziest crits I've ever had. Blade Twister, 15% critical strike damage increase, and I re-rolled a 58 talent to 3 stars. Mind you, I got pretty lucky. It only took me 5 or 6 re-rolls on this. But we had penetration, crit strike chance, crit damage. He's naturally getting the crit strike chance so much. No way did I re-roll. Pretty much my last chance available got me to 3-2. Because he's got such natural crit strike chance, he's basically guaranteed to crit. He's going to naturally bring himself up to... Take a quick look here. He's going to naturally bring himself up to near 85% with the little bit of crit strike I have from my runes. So at 85%, that is way more crit chance than you could ever even plan to put into someone's kit. So crit damage all the way. I can't wait to see the crits this guy pumps out. I just want to kind of jump into my stats here and just relish in this. 126% crit damage. And he's going to be getting a bonus 60%, up to a bonus 60% from his passives as well. He's going to have 186% crit damage. I am so pumped to see what this guy can hit. And we are definitely going to see it in the Christian Advent Dungeon, which I'm going to be focusing on later tonight. So I hope you guys have Taiyo, and I'd love to hear how you build them. I feel like you could definitely focus a little harder on multi-strike and counterattack, but I just couldn't find a way to do it without limiting how much attack, crit strike, and crit strike damage I could give him. It was a real toss-up. A lot of the time, you get so much conflict in your rune slots that it's hard to really dial in on what the character needs. So this was a very high crit strike chance, crit damage, or no, I did a very high crit damage build. That was the main focus. Attack and crit damage. Fitting in more multi-strike and counter attack could definitely benefit you as well. I mean, I do have them up to 20% and 16%. That's pretty meh, but I really just feel like you can't really afford to sacrifice the slots. So counterattack and multi-strike show up in slots 3, 4, 5, and 6. Well, I did manage to get it on 3, but I don't want to sacrifice attack, period, or crit damage, so it just doesn't feel worth it. Even though he gets that 50% bonus damage when he does multi-strike or counterattack, especially considering his second skill drops your chance by 50%. So every time he uses his second skill, all of your investment into counterattack and multi-attack seemingly disappear for a turn. I definitely am not about to focus on it in slots 4, 5, or 6. Crit damage, attack, take priority for me. But that is how I have Taiyo set up, guys. Definitely let me know how you guys have yours set up in the comments down below. If you have any other changes you'd make. If you ever disagree with me, it's my favorite thing ever. Let's have a conversation about it. Say hi. Say, hey, Mask, absolutely not. You did that totally wrong. I'd love to hear it. Thanks for checking us out, guys. Make sure to grab a link to my Discord in the description down below. Come join the Discord channel. We got a Knights Chronicle section in there now, which is booming, very active, a lot of fun to talk in. I'd love to hear your input in there. And I'm going to start adding more channels as we see them needed as well for Knights Chronicle. Maybe some specific topics. But I'd love to see you join there. And as always, that top link in the description there is a link to download BlueStacks and play Knights Chronicle on your PC on BlueStacks. Better processing power, better graphics, and save that cell phone battery. And of course, you got my Facebook and my Twitter down there, guys. Follow me on the social medias. That's how you're gonna know when I'm going live. New content's coming out. But most of all, smash that subscribe button and stay classy.